I would go to bars and like the bartenders would be like, if you do the face, I'll give you a free shot. Bitch, you want me to dance for my drink? I'll pay for it.
Yeah, just like, here, take my money.
Take my fucking card. And I did do it.
Right.
I got a podcast.
I to the no. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of I'm Literally Screaming. There's an applause. Everyone's standing. No, put your clothes back on. Ooh, wait, no, I don't want to see that. Hi everyone, it's me, it's Spencewuah. I'm back again, another amazing episode with another amazing guest, the one, the only, Brittany Broski.
Nikki Blonsky.
So, like, how was your day or like few days been?
Girl, shut the up.
It's what, Wednesday?
Well, we were just talking about what I just wanted to ask you
Which one?
about you and Zaya last night.
Oh, okay. So
Dude, let's jump right into it because y'all honestly are interrupting something. We were talking.
Yeah, we were talking.
And then he had to do his whole intro, so let's get back to it.
Okay. You said, screw you guys.
Fuck you, bitch. Now listen.
So last night, me and Zaya were just like, yeah, let's smoke a blunt. So
Right.
we got like astronomically high, but like I went to like the MMD. And they
That's
were
never a good thing.
Yeah, they were like, which one do you want, the regular or infused? And I said, what's the infused like having it? And they were like, oh, it's like straight up wax. And I said, infused. So we were smoking like 50% THC. Like
Fuck
it was
me.
crazy. And then we sat on my couch and we watched this like girl on YouTube do a deep dive into Trisha Paytas' life, like her entire life, like how she's been on the internet for like 14 years
Yeah.
and like how she has like these like different internet personas. No one knows what's real. And like people enjoy watching her content and also dislike her at the same
Like, hate
time
watch.
because it's like realistically she is like entertaining, but at the
Yeah.
same time it's like what you're saying is really messed up. And it's like every time she does something, it's like for some reason you just want to know.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
you can't look away. And also, I love those compilations on TikTok of her contradicting herself.
yeah, where she was like, I'm a vegan, save the animals, and she's literally like, chicken nugget. She's like, oh, yeah.
I'm obsessed. I watch it. I don't like watch her videos.
No, I don't.
But I will indulge in an
Compilation,
edit of her.
yeah.
Compilation, yeah.
And then after we did that, we played Roblox, and Zaya's account actually got banned.
Too many slurs.
Well, no, it was because I think of her username, so she had to make a new account before we played again. And then she like for a good 2 hours sat in my room. I played Roblox by myself while she was like buying Robux to make her character pretty. And then after spending all the time like spending money and like making the character pretty, we joined a game and like all the progress she did, she never saved it. So like went back to the default and she had to redo it all over again.
So that's what made you piss yourself?
Oh, last night?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I've been waiting for, girl.
Oh, what
You're
made me-
just
what
giving me
made-
side quests.
Oh, yeah. What made me piss myself was like I was scared because after like a certain hour, Zaya becomes like another person, like crazy.
Oh.
And she was like clawing at my bedroom door. And like I was like sitting in my room like trying to sleep and all I heard was like scratching. And I was like, what is this? And I opened the door and she was like, and then I ran into my bathroom. And then when I opened the door after she scratched on it for a good like 2 minutes, I looked down at the ground and she was literally like on the floor like this. Yeah.
That's awful. That's like those things. I just favorited something because I was okay. I saw this TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was one of those slideshows of like things to say to people when they're very high.
Yeah.
And one was like everyone in the room is talking about you, like we're all texting in a group chat without you in it.
I
Another
actually would
one-
like I would
That's literally like what she was doing to you. Like that, my personal nightmare would be like, hey, everyone thinks you look weird right now.
like maybe you should change or something.
Yeah.
Like, have you thought about it?
Everyone's looking at you.
Like you maybe need to like a touch up.
Yeah.
Like, are you feeling okay?
You should go to the bathroom.
You look kind of sick. Did you get enough sleep last
you
night?
look bad.
I would literally be like, okay, so if you hear like a really loud noise outside, it was me jumping off my balcony.
I like literally that is when you're in that mindset, the worst thing anyone could ever say to you.
It's like, look at yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
Bitch,
like,
you look horrible.
I would literally be like, okay, so I tell myself this already like every day. So it's like I don't need to do this now. Oh my gosh, wait. I'm like literally jumping to an entirely different
Pivot. Let's pivot.
How did you make friends in like elementary school? I need to know. I have to know.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. So I was a military brat. So we moved around every 2 to 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And so you have to develop social skills like really young to talk.
Like make friends.
Yeah, some people become really introverted, and I just became dancing monkey. So I made everyone laugh, and that was kind of how I made friends. But when I went to 7th grade, this isn't elementary school, but this is like I was at a new school.
Yeah.
It's middle school. I lived in South Korea for 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
And I was moving back to Dallas, and I started at this school. It's a small town.
So like everyone already had like their like groups of friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like since they were in diapers, they've had their friends. Oh. And so I show up and I'm like, hey, and I look weird. And I have bushy eyebrows and a low ponytail. I look like a founding father. I'm a little chunky. Like I only wore Bobby Jack. Like it was a lot.
Okay.
And I show up and I have my lunchbox, and I slam it down on the table at the table full of popular girls.
Okay.
And because I had been watching for a while, this is probably like the 4th or 5th day of school, and I slammed it down, and I put my legs up on the table like this, and I go, "Sup, bitches." And everyone looked at me and looked at each other and started laughing, and I knew it wasn't laughing with me.
With you, yeah.
No, girl was laughing at me, and I was like, I'm killing it. I was like, I'm killing these bitches.
You're
they
like,
are eating
yeah,
it up.
I'm Regina. I'm Regina.
But you know what? It kind of worked, because after that, they were like, she's funny. I was like, let's go. And I look back on that now, and I'm like, so much of that too was, we were at kind of a Christian school. Okay. And so I was like, bitches? Like, kind of whispered
wow.
it. Yeah, like looked around.
They're like, ooh, she's bad. She's one of the bad ones.
No, she's a bad girl. And
Live
now I'm
fast,
online like, these fucking bitches on my fucking car. So that's how I made friends. Sorry, that was a lot. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I spit all over myself too. That's how I made friends in 7th grade. And then I was at that school with those people until sophomore year of high school. And then I was just like normal junior year. Oh. But it was a lot, like looking back and being like, I would have decked you. If I was like 25-year-old me now, I would have punched 12-year-old me. Oh. Because it was a lot.
Yeah. Well,
but, like if you met elementary school Spencer,
I'd be like more like concerned.
Okay.
I'd be like more like, let's get you the help you need. Because see, like that's how you made friends, right?
Yeah.
Can I tell you how I made friends?
Do I want to know? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So like I don't have a dad. Like shocker, shocker, fatherless. I don't have a dad, right? So like when I went to Catholic school, but I started in the 1st grade.
You have so many layers of trauma.
Yeah, I know.
That's
so
great.
I started in like the 1st grade. Mind you, everyone that was in my class had been together since like pre-K.
Yeah.
It was like, because Catholic school went from pre-K all the way up to 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I came in my like 1st grade and everyone had already made their friends. I didn't have any friends. So I was like, what do I do? And I told all of them that maybe like, I think it was 2nd grade. It wasn't 1st grade because like 1st grade, I literally I was like, shit, like I really don't have any friends. Except this one girl named Taylor, because we had the same birthday. And that's like a clear like gateway into being like, oh my gosh, we're besties, because like
that's
we're both
all you
born.
need when you're
right.
7.
It's like, wow, like we have the same birthday. We were born in the same hospital. I was born in the morning. She was born at night. Okay. It was like really cool. And my mom didn't believe me when I told her. She was like, LOL, like, are these imaginary friends? And then my mom actually met Taylor and my mom was like, oh, like she's real. And I was like, okay,
She's not a little ghost girl?
Yeah, no. Like
she died in the 1800s?
Oh. She died in the She shows up in like a Revolutionary War like garment. She's like, hello. I would actually piss my pants.
She has a musket?
Yeah. She's like, hello, Miss Hunt.
That's my Fuentewa.
That's my Fuentewa, and she's really cool. She came us around a gun. Oh wait, no, not around in school. That's bad. Wait, hold on.
No, it was a Civil War.
It was a Civil War. Different. She was a ghost.
Yeah, she fought.
So in the 2nd grade, right, I really had like no friends. Like it was like bad. And around this time, I think we started. For some reason, we were talking about like sex education. Second grade. Like I was learning about like sperm and like eggs and like
balls.
Yeah, and like our parents had to like sign. Wait, no, maybe it wasn't the 2nd grade. I don't know.
Definitely not.
All I know is that this kid named Charlie came up to me and was like, "You don't have a dad," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And he was like, do you know how you were made? And I was like, my mom just had me. Because at the time, like, I didn't know that, like, sex was like, oh, like, that's how you make a baby.
I thought Virgin Mary for the longest time, that was just like something that happened.
I thought my mom was a Virgin Mary. Like, I literally was like, my mom, I literally was like, oh my gosh, like, Virgin Mary, I go to Catholic school.
Yeah.
She didn't have to have, like, whatever. She didn't have to have, like, a husband to have a baby. Like,
Right.
that was my mom. No, this kid named Charlie walked up to me and said, you have a dad. You have to have one. That's how it works. So I went to my mom and I asked her if I had a dad. And she was like, yeah, you do. I wanted to tell you, like, maybe, like, next year, but, like, now we'll do.
She's angry. She's like,
Okay, great. Like, now I
Yeah.
have to tell you. So then I was like, let me write this one out. And I started telling, this is how I made my friends. I started telling everyone that my dad, the reason why he wasn't in the picture was because he was
stop.
was
What?
because he was a vampire.
I know you're so serious.
I told them that I was a human vampire hybrid, and for a year, this is all throughout second grade during recess when it was sunny outside. We had like this huge. We had this like massive, you know, like what are those called? Those like, oh my gosh, you know how like they make houses out of them now, and it's like the like big ass metal like
Shipping container.
There was a big shipping container outside, and I would hide behind it during recess if it was sunny, and then I would only play if it was like cloudy outside.
You committed.
I did, and I did make friends, and I think they became my friend though because like they thought it was weird. And then in the third grade, no, they knew I was weird.
Yeah.
And then in the third grade, I made friends because again, I lied and I told everyone I was half leprechaun. And wait, do you know that movie that was on Disney, Luck of the Irish?
Yes!
I saw the movie and I was like, yeah, I'm a leprechaun.
You said, actually, I think that is me.
Can I show you what I used to?
I'm
show you what I used to?
nervous,
Don't
yeah.
be nervous. This is what I used to do. I used to approach kids at my school, right? And I would tell them I was half leprechaun, and they'd be like, "No, you're not," and I'd be like, "Then explain this."
Can I level with you?
Yeah.
That's the most unimpressive thing I've ever seen.
No, but like in the third grade, I was like, wow.
Yeah, my that shit.
Yeah, I was like, get me some tap shoes because I'm really allergic. And then in the seventh grade, I made friends because I convinced in the sixth grade, I made friends with the seventh graders because I was like, everyone in my class is boring. Like, I need
Yeah.
like entertainment.
Yeah.
Also, the entire seventh grade class was like all girls. My class was all boys and 3 girls. So I was like,
these bitches aren't getting
yeah,
it.
I was like, let me go with the girls, you
Yeah.
know? So I would go to their lunch table at like lunch, and this is how I became friends with all of them.
Okay.
I would sit at the lunch table, and they're like, hey, like, what's your name? And I'd be like, my name is Spencer, but someone visits me sometimes. And they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, there's a boy named Lucas that takes over my body sometimes. And I would sit at the table during lunch, and they loved it. They ate it up. I would like pretend I was like getting possessed by Lucas, and I would lift up the table with my hands.
You were that weird kid.
Yeah, I was, but I made so many friends because of it until middle school when I transferred into like a public school system because Catholic school and public school are 2 different things. And like I remember there was this kid, I got like bullied really bad in middle school.
Yeah.
And this kid walked up to me because I like had a like stitches by my eye, and he was like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "I got in a bar fight."
You don't know what a bar fight is?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, "Oh, okay." And then I used to tie people's shoes in the hallways for them. Like, wait. And then I made a Christmas tree farm petition for my middle school and had all the teachers sign it. Maybe actually I did make friends. I think it was the older kids that like hated me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have such clear memories of those. Like, I'm sure I did bullshit like that, but I blocked it.
Oh, I
don't
remember
wanna know.
I have such an amazing memory. It's actually unbelievable.
That's scary.
Yeah, I remember a lot. I feel like
I see all.
I know all. I wish I had photographic memory though.
Yeah. If you had photographic memory, it would not be used for good.
Oh no, it wouldn't. It'd be like to like look at someone's pen. And then pickpocket them.
Credit card fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, taxes, naughty.
You're just like memorizing dick
I'm like
pics.
literally like, I feel like I could be a hacker if I wanted to be one.
We're in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I couldn't. Anyways, how's your day been so far? Like literally, I'm not joking too. Like,
Well, girl, let me tell you about what happened on the way here.
Oh, okay.
So I called my Lyft because I'm banned from Uber, by the way.
Why?
So I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, because, okay. Hey, relax really quick. During the pandemic, when it was wrapping up, right? I used to love to play this game called I'm Drunk, I'm going to put my mask around my chin and talk to the Uber driver. So I got banned from Uber for a while and I just like haven't got my account back. But it literally happened like 3 times because I would be blackout drunk and I'm like, damn bitch, I can't breathe. And I'd put my mask around my chin and be like, so how's your night been? And they were like, 1 star. Put your fucking mask on.
They're like, so this bitch is from Dallas.
The cowboy hat, I get it.
Yeah, we got it.
And so I got banned from Uber, so I have to drive Lyft. Well, they picked me up and I put in the street name of where y'all film this, not the number. Oh, no. And because it auto-corrected to that. And so he drops me off on the side of the road and he goes, here? And I said, I'm looking it up on Google Maps and I'm like, no, it says it's still 10 minutes away. And he goes, well, you put in here. And I already accepted another ride. He said, you need to get out. He made me get out of the side. I said, oh, okay. So I got out.
He said, I'll leave.
I said, I'm so sorry. Have a good one. 5 stars tip. I was so insulted. He was like, you need to get out. So I'm standing on the side of the road. Scary because it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let me call another one. And it's 10 minutes away. Yeah. And I said, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of walking around. And I sit down on the ground. I'm like, this is awful.
You want to know a game I play with my Uber drivers?
Yeah.
And this is like current. Like this isn't like, okay, so I like to play this game when I'm like really drunk. Like I'm talking about like I just went to WeHo and I had the gay pour shots where they're like, here's a shot of tequila and it's like 3 shots in like a huge glass. And I do this game and I usually like I'll Uber home with like friends. They'll be with me. I'll have them sit in the back and I'll sit in the front.
You sit next to the fucking Uber driver.
And I want to see. I try. This is actually like I like need to stop maybe because this is like really awkward. I'll try to see if they'll let me hold their hand.
You can't.
No, because like sometimes like I'm like I feel like I'm gonna throw up and I need a handle. And most of the time I'll literally be like, excuse me, do you mind if I hold your hand? Because I don't like feel really good. And they're like, yeah, okay.
I'd be like, don't touch me, get out.
Yeah, no. So that's my game when I play Uber.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of fun. And then my other problem is like whenever I get in an Uber, a lot of the times, like if they have an accent, especially like if it's like French or English.
You say, where are you from?
It's over. No, I adapt their accent to me. Like I walk in the car speaking like I'm like, hi, I'm American. And by the time I leave, I'm like, hello, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Tea and crumpets, love you. Mwah. See you soon. Like it's ill. Like I actually like one time I actually was
so
like
problematic.
I know. Like I literally I'll like oof. Sorry. Like
it's a good bit. Yeah. Hey.
No, you can keep it in there. I don't give a
if y'all are fans of the famous Nikocado Avocado.
Right.
This chair makes it sound like I'm farting. Like
no,
I'm letting him rip the whole time.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
When Nick says something to Orlin, his toxic partner, that he doesn't want in, like he wants edited out, he'll do this. And then not edit it out. Yeah. So I said we're gonna do that.
Yeah, so that was that. If you guys wanted to know what that was.
He's another one where I can't look away.
Oh, like Trish.
Like Trisha, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's because but with him, I feel bad sometimes for him, especially.
He is a social experiment.
Yeah.
And he did it himself. You want a viewer? Bitch, I'll view. I will view what you're doing.
Yeah. Wait, so do you watch compilations of him or do you watch his full
There's
videos?
One that every time I get high and I'm with people. Oh my God, me and Chris Clemens one time. We got high. And we watched BBL vlogs for like 3 hours.
Okay.
And then BBL compilations of like bad botched BBLs and people doing dances on TikTok. And I was like, this is mean.
I love watching when they do the draining of the BBL.
Yeah.
That is like, see, when I had my like full body lift,
yeah,
I had tubes coming out of me. But like if I were to have gotten it done in like Florida or like Miami, they would have me stay so they could drain it out for me.
That's wild.
Yeah, but I just had the tubes.
Do you wish you had done it a different way?
No.
Okay.
I like the way I had it done. I mean, like I only have like 4 little scars.
Yeah.
but I have like a huge one around my body, but like it's kind of fading, especially on my
Slay.
sides. It's like starting to fade away.
Cute.
Yeah, let me tell you about my morning.
Okay.
Like, let me cut you off. Sorry, girl. Actually, the other day I posted a TikTok video. It was like of me and Lars, because Lars was here.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about like our first encounters meeting Bryce Hall, right? And like I had to edit like an hour clip into like a minute. So when I was telling my story about how I met him, I never said Bryce's name. So because Lars started the conversation of like, oh, like I have a crazy story about how I met Bryce Hall. Everyone in my comment section was coming crazy cuckoo bonks at me because they were like, not you cutting off Lars. We wanted to hear his story more. Bitch, I didn't cut him off. That didn't happen. Like, I had to, like, edit it that way. You don't understand. You can hear the audio cut out. Okay, anyway, so.
Glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah, so anyways, this morning.
That was very HRH.
Like me fighting with the audience, like,
Yeah.
like.
Oh, I do it too. In my YouTube videos, I'd be like, "You bitches, before you even start, let me get this out of the way."
Yeah.
Because you just know, you can predict.
When it's, I've been on like the internet long enough where I'm
Me
like,
too.
yeah, like you bitches are gonna try to roll with this in a certain
Well,
type
that
of way.
and like I know how you're gonna try to spin it, and it's not like that. So let me up front be like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
I have to do that a lot, and it's turned into a bit too, where I'm like, I'm whipping Broski Nation into shape.
That's what you have to do sometimes.
You sometimes have to come in with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And I am the governor, I'm the president, I am the dictator,
And the mayor.
and the mayor.
I literally, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Also, while I was high last night, I did in fact go to your like side account, like your spam, and I actually was just like scrolling through it, and I was watching the pin video of that one person literally being like, "So this is a chart of who Brittany is."
By day.
I actually was like, "This is insane." I was gonna DM them and
Yeah.
ask them for the chart and like bring it in here, and then I was like, "Wait, maybe that's like a lot."
It's a lot.
I was like, "Maybe that's a lot."
No, the dedication is truly. So what he's talking about is I had a follower, Shannon. Shout out Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
And she made this calendar of all the men that I obsessed over in the year of our Lord 2022. And it is, I'm not kidding, by week.
Yeah.
Because it changes that quickly. I mean, I'm wearing a Robert Pattinson shirt today. I could burn it tomorrow. We'll never know.
Don't burn it.
I would never. I would
Okay.
sell it.
Yeah.
And,
Wait, no, just give it to me.
Okay, I'll
Alright.
do that too. Is that a Slater shirt, by the way? Or
No,
Grimes?
but doesn't it look like her?
It looks like
It's
Miss
literally
Kathy.
a fairy shirt that I got from a thrift store with Zaya.
Okay, rich.
Isn't that crazy? And also, you know who people also think this is too?
Grimes?
You know Charlotte, Abby, and
Yeah.
Charlotte. They think it's Charlotte.
It does look like Charlotte
from,
a little bit.
like TikTok, the one who
Yeah.
does makeup.
Anyway,
oh wait,
what
you were
was
talking
I-
about your obsessions and like.
Oh yeah, well someone made like a video chronicling everything that I have ever obsessed over in that year, and I duetted it, and I was like, take notes.
Yeah.
And like the dedication is truly insane. Like it's wild. So that's crazy. You were watching.
I
it
was
last
watching
night.
that one. I watched the video of you with your book and like the way you separate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like, wait.
It's a lot.
Wait, so do you read a lot?
I do.
Me too.
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
I haven't heard of that. Is it good?
Well, so far it's really good. It's about like this girl and kind of like goes forward. It goes like present day to back in time.
Cute.
And right now, like in the beginning, it's basically her and she like wakes up in this guy's apartment and she's explaining how she knows that when she leaves his bed and she walks into the like living room, he's not going to remember her. So like she goes into the living room and she plays the piano. He wakes up and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like who are you?" And like she has known him for like a month. Like
Okay.
every day she has to like revisit him.
Is it like 51st Dates sort of moment? He's
no,
got amnesia.
she's been alive for like centuries.
Oh, period.
But the gag is because she gets to live forever, she also no one can remember her.
Ew, I'd kill myself. Just end it.
But wait. One person does. And that's where I'm at right now. I think it's like some guy in a coffee shop remembers her. Like she comes in the next day and he's like, "Oh, hey." And she's like, "So why the hell do you remember my name?"
Yeah. What do you know
'Cause,
about me?
Everyone forgets her. And it's really good so far.
Interesting. The Invisible Life of.
Addie LaRue. And then another good book that I read was The Midnight Library. Have you read that one?
I've heard of it.
So it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Do you like? I lean more towards like. Well, I was in a dark academia phase.
Okay.
Of like, kind of Harry Potter-ish, but not the magic.
Got it.
It's a lot of it's like murder mysteries.
You know what you should read then?
What?
There's a book series and it's called The Raging Ones, and then it's just two books. It's The Raging Ones and then The Last Hope.
Okay.
And it's basically about these people. They're Sumerian, so they're aliens. And they grow up on, I think, maybe Jupiter. They like inhabit every planet in our solar system, like the human solar system. And when you're born, you're assigned a death day. So like when you're going to die, and a lot of people will do this thing where they play like death day roulette, where like you'll go to a bar and you'll spin a gun and shoot yourself. But like, listen, say I shot myself and my death day wasn't until like a year from now, and I actually like I died essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't actually be dead. Like
So you're in like an in-between state?
I would stay alive until my death day arrived. Like if I shoot myself, I might have just shot myself so perfectly that like I'm just brain dead. And then I won't actually die until my death day. And then you find like these three characters. It's like Mike, Fran, and I forget the other guy's name, but they miss their death days. Like they think they're going to die and they skip their death days and they all become connected.
Whoa.
Like, so first it's Michael and the other guy, and they're like homo. So like it's like
Ew.
it's good.
Wait, ew.
Yeah. No. Never mind. Should I burn it?
Yeah,
I'll just burn the book.
Yeah.
No, but it's so good. It
sounds good.
And then the second book, you're like, ooh.
Okay. Is there like some romance in it?
Yeah. There's like it's like things in the second book kind of like, how do I put this? In the first book, you're reading through it and you're like, wow, like I really like what's happening here. And at the end of the first book, it's like, oh, I get it now, like why they're all connected. And then
So the plot really starts second book.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the first book is like a build up.
Okay, cute. A world building.
Yeah.
Have you read Court of Thorns and Roses?
No.
Bitch, get into it.
Is it like a series?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's really good.
What is that about?
So it's about it's based geographically on like what we know as like Great Britain, Ireland, and the northern part of the European continent. And the southern half is the human lands, and the northern half is fairy lands. It's the fairy realm. But the fairies are not like anything I've ever seen described or depicted in like lore. It's just kind of like humans on steroids.
Okay.
They have like pointed ears, and they have better vision and better hearing, and they're stronger and whatever. And there was a war. Humans used to be enslaved and all this stuff. Well, there's this one girl who kills a fairy. There's a wall, and she kills a fairy that comes across the wall, and so it starts this whole thing. And then she gets taken, and she falls in love with somebody. It's a whole thing.
Is it like an enemies to lovers type?
Yeah, but like Stockholm syndrome a little bit. Ooh! And then come to find out, like she has insane powers as a human that when something happens, and it's the whole like she is. I really appreciate a character with a lead, or a story with a lead character who's a female who is strong. And not in a cringy girl boss way, but in like she actually genuinely does not need any of the male characters in the story. They're just kind of enhancements. Some of it's fairy porn, I will admit. And I'm into it.
I love it.
I'm into it.
I mean, I grew up reading like One Direction smut.
And me too.
Wattpad, so
Tumblr,
like,
Wattpad, AO3.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We're all over it.
I love how we're like, you know what? I actually think that if based on like what we post online, I feel like everyone would look at us and be like, damn, they're stupid. And it's like we're here like out of nowhere, literally me telling you that I used to tell everyone that I was half leprechaun, half vampire. And then it's like, oh yeah, let me talk about all the books I read.
Let me talk about my best reads of 2022.
And everyone's like, wait, like you read? It's like, yeah, I do, bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think that so the best book I read last year was called The Secret History. Have you read this one?
Mm-mm.
It's a very intelligent read. So I don't think it's not, if you want like a fast-paced, ooh, this is kind of crazy, it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slow read, but it's been so long since I have picked up a book and I've had to have my dictionary app open because it has such big words and it's so, like the grammar and the syntax is just beautiful. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's such a compelling storyline. The characters are so well developed and it's a murder mystery. And on the first page, you see who was murdered and how, and then the rest is why. It's so good, bitch. I have not enjoyed a book like that in so long. But it's that where it's like, this is a whole different community than what you and I associate with online.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. I think that doing what you and I do, you don't allow yourself to be pigeonholed. You know, because they love to do that.
Yeah,
they love
no.
to say, you're the screamer. Do it, bitch. Scream.
I'm not joking. I've seen people like, well, there's this one time, this was like when I was still living in New Jersey. I was at the mall and I literally was like bawling my eyes out. Something had happened. I don't remember what happened. But I was like crying and I was like running to the bathroom and this girl stopped me. And this was also during like COVID. So like, mind you, it's clear that I'm crying and I'm running to the bathroom and she walks up to me. Well, like she actually runs after me and she goes, "Can you scream in a video for me?" And I was like, I literally was like, "I'm so sorry. Like I can't right now." And then she was like, "Okay, well, I know you're crying, but because of the face masks, would you just like take a photo with me? No one will know, I promise." I still took the damn photo too.
No, you did not.
I did. So there's probably a photo out there of me with a face mask on, with like red eyes,
red eyes,
like literally bawling my eyes out like this.
Everyone has a story like that.
Yeah.
Like that's in.
Because I feel like if I say no, then it's like, oh, you don't appreciate the people that are like here for you. And it's like I do, but like sometimes I literally like if I'm bawling my eyes out, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
Like even if she had like even if like she had ran into me later on and I was like more collected, I would have been like, hell yeah, I'll scream.
Right.
But it's like I'm clearly like in a real bad place currently.
And you want me to perform.
Right. Like I'm not a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big thing is, you know, because we're accessible in that way and they feel like they know us, you know, it's like, hey, do this thing. Well, what do you mean no? You're a bitch. You know, it's like, and it's, you're not entitled to my time in that way.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard thing to establish that boundary
and then
with
it's
the
like,
people who keep your lights on.
When you establish that boundary, what also sucks is like those same people are like, oh, you're not grateful.
Right.
Like
Not
that
true at
like this
all.
is your job. Like why aren't you doing it? And it's like there is literally it's almost like, would you ever like run up to like a random person on the side? I don't even want to say like a random person. Like
But if it's like Rihanna or someone like that, you wouldn't run up and shove a camera in her face.
and even if you did and she was like no, you'd be like, oh, I get it.
Because she's Rihanna. Because she gets respect. We don't get the respect.
Yeah,
And
no.
I'm sure she's had some up shit done to her,
Oh,
too.
I
from fans.
guarantee, yeah.
It's just a different universe in the social media sphere because that respectful boundary is non-existent.
What eyeshadow do you use? Sorry, like literally.
Stop. On the top?
Yeah.
This is the Kimchi and Trixie palette.
Whoa, it's like so sparkly and like what's that, like hollow, like
holographic.
yeah.
Thank
I love that. Sorry, I had to like cut you off really quick.
No, it's okay. But I think that I was gonna say something else about I was talking about this with Drew recently because one of the first time it ever happened to me where I was like, no fucking way you're asking me for a picture right now.
Yeah.
I was in my college town. I had gone back to party at some of the bars and the meme had just gone viral and I was with some of my friends and something like really traumatizing happened to one of my friends that night, or some man being really creepy, and she was like having a panic attack in this alley between these two bars. And we were like calming her down and we were like, you know, we called literally the campus police over or something like that, and it was a lot. I was drunk too. But I'm comforting my friend and we're having a moment. Well, she's clearly like shoulders racking, like she's sobbing so hard. We're all hugging her, comforting her. Someone comes up and like drunk to the point where she's not even really looking at me. You know, she's like looking through me. And she goes, "You're from the face meme, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Can you do it? Can you do the thing?" And so she's got her phone and she's drunk and she goes, "Can you do the thing?" Clearly filming. And I'm like, "You're kidding." You're actually kidding. And I was like, actually, I'm kind of dealing with a thing right now. You know, give me a minute.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Are you fucking serious?" And I said, "Huh?"
I would have been like, yeah, I am. Now you get jack shit. Walk away.
I literally, and I didn't know how to say no because it's like, you know, it was all so new to me back then. And so I was like, "Give me a minute." And she mumbled something like, "You're a fucking bitch," or like, you know, who do you think you are, or something. She walks away. Meanwhile, my friend's like sobbing. Like,
yeah.
This is dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And that was my first introduction to it. And it's happened multiple times since then. Even like into early 2020, before the pandemic, I would go to bars and like the bartenders would be like, "If you do the face, I'll give you a free shot." Bitch, you want me to dance for my drink? I'll pay for it.
Yeah, just like, here, take my money.
Take my fucking card. And I did do it.
You were like, okay.
And I did. I said, ooh, and then give me the fucking shot.
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, I mean, like, shots are expensive. Also, do you know how we first met? Here's a little quiz. Like, the first time we ever met in person. Because I remember.
Playlist?
Yeah, it was. Do you remember what happened?
No.
Can I tell you what happened?
Please tell me
Like,
what
this is literally, I'm so sorry. Like, I need you to understand. Like, this is how this podcast is like, okay, ready?
Okay, just tell me.
Imagine, like, you're in, like, one of those, like, mine shaft carts, right? And, like, you are going through the mine shaft. At any given moment, I'm going to pull a lever and it's just switch lanes. And that's what's happening right now.
Okay.
Where it's like a mine shaft and like we're being derailed, but like we always like find our balance somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, the first time I ever met you was at Playlist. I was with Zaya, and there was like the creator lounge, and then there was like the VIP creator lounge. And I remember I saw like Charlie D'Amelio walking in there, Lil Huddy, and you were walking in there, and I saw you and I was like, oh my gosh, Brittany, hey. And you were like, bitch, I love you. You ran up to me and literally grabbed my arm and you were like, come on, come in. And I was like, no, Brittany, like I can't. I don't have the wristband. The security, I mean, like the security literally, they like did not care. This was like Playlist back then. You literally grabbed me and the security guard was like, does he have a wristband? And you were like, no, but they're with me. And you literally grabbed me and Zaya, we just like went to the VIP lounge. And that's how like I first met you. You were like, let's go. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay, good. I thought you were about to say something really like,
no.
Okay.
And that's no.
You know, you did to me, you spit in my eye.
I actually was going to say what was so odd to me at the time was like, yes, we were mutuals, but like you also had like just blown up. And I was like, Brittany's so busy. If like she sees me, I don't know if she's going to say hi. And I wasn't that big at the time. I think I had like, I mean, at the time it was like different for me. I had
those days were so different. Even like blowing up what you had like 1.5 mil. The most any of us ever had was like 5 million.
Yep.
I want to say, other than Charlie.
Yeah.
And even then it was like, you're the most famous person in the world.
Yeah. You were like, ooh, everyone, where's my carpet? Where's my red carpet?
Literally, where's my golf cart?
No, like literally. I actually scammed Playlist.
Oh, no, because listen, you, Emmy, and Ian did not, you like paid to go out there.
Yeah.
And you waited in the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a creator pass.
Nope.
You were so brave for that.
Oh, but this is where it gets crazy cuckoo bombs.
Let's hear it. Crazy
okay, so like I'm probably never gonna get invited to Playlist. Like,
I'm never going back.
After I say this.
Okay.
So to make a really long story short, I found someone who had the email for the creator lounge. So like I wasn't really supposed to I wasn't supposed to be there. And at like again, like security was like not like it at the time. Yeah. So I literally, my friend gave me their phone. I typed in my email and Zaya's email for the creator lounge. And then when we were like trying to get our like lanyards, there was a huge line wrapped around the building. And I was with Zaya and I was like, we have to lie. And Zaya was like, what do you mean? I was like, just follow me and everything I say, believe it. We went to the head of security and I said, we have a panel right now and we can't get in because we don't have our lanyards. And he was like, how do I know like you guys are telling the truth? I showed him the email that said I was in the creator lounge, the email I sent to myself. And he was like, oh, come on. He let us in. We got our lanyards. And then after our lanyards, that's how you got your creator lounge one, like the like wristband. And then we got our creator lounge wristband. And that was also the day I met you.
Oh my God.
So like I actually like kind of scammed my way through Playlist.
And you could do it too.
You can.
Everyone listening.
Yeah, everyone. Well, not anymore because that was a joke. I was kidding. No, but I feel like now like security is like upped itself.
Because they didn't give a if we lived or died.
No, like literally. I remember. Oh my God, this was actually really messed up. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I remember this was like the first time I had ever like drank, but like
that's what I forget. Listen, Playlist. I was probably the oldest creator there and I was 22.
Yeah.
Everyone, you bitches were 17, 18 years old.
I was 18.
You were 18. Chase,
Keith?
Yes, was 16. That whole group of like Claire, Haley, and other Chase, they were like 16, 17.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at these house parties and I was texting my friends from back home and I was like, what the am I doing?
I remember like there was so much. I remember I was like in this hotel room, like
Yeah.
you know, like the hotel that was attached. There was someone was like, "Oh, there's a party up here. Come on, like let's go to this party." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go to this random hotel room." We go up there, and this like random girl walks up to me. I have no idea who she was. Like she literally walked up to me, blacked out. There was no alcohol in this hotel room. Either. Like mind you, like everyone was like, "Okay." This girl walks up to me and she goes, "This is the only bottle of vodka. You like have to pass it around to everyone here because like this is the only alcohol that we have."
And I made it in the toilet.
No, it was like a full huge bottle, like a handle. Me, Zaya, and like a group of like just our friends. We all sat on the floor. Mind you, like this place is crowded.
Yeah.
Like we all sat on the floor and we were like, do we want to share it with everyone?
You did not keep it for your
We literally just kept passing it in a circle.
just raw vodka.
Yeah.
You were raw dogging some Svedka.
Yeah. But at the time, it was just like, I was like, ooh.
Well, and it's also like so much of what I learned is because I had graduated college at that point and I was a licensed insurance agent when all of this like happened.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the people that were popping off. Sorry.
No.
At the time that we were gaining popularity, we're literally still in high school. You had just graduated.
Yeah.
And so people like to take it out of context and be like, you know, da-da-da was hanging out with we all do the same job. And when you're somewhere like Playlist and VidCon where we're all digital creators finally being able to meet in the same space, the age ranges are very strange. You know?
Yeah.
We
were in the house. It was even, what's his name? Michael?
Yeah, Nice Michael.
Nice Michael. And like, I remember Asaf, Frankie, they were all older
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very weird. And like a lot of underage drinking, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Well, and I remember leaving, not even thinking, wow, that was weird. Until people online were like, did you used to party with? And I'm like, oh my God, I guess that is true. But it was never weird.
It was
like
never,
that.
but like that's it. I feel like people are always like, oh, like because there was like that age difference. It's like, oh, this is weird and this and the third. But like really, I'm not like, it didn't feel weird. It felt like we were all just like, felt like a class reunion.
It was
like it literally
TikTok
felt
was so new.
And at the same time, like we had all just like become mutuals, and it was like I feel like that was really all of our first time meeting.
Definitely.
Like before that, like I had not met anybody.
Yeah.
And I remember like, yeah, maybe I would go on like house party. House party. I'd go on house party and Yubo. But like with my group of friends, we would just like lock the room.
Yeah.
And then we would just like talk on the phone. But like before that, we had never met in person.
Because we were all spread out all over the U.S. and the world. I mean, that was the first time I met Abby Roberts, and I was like, bitch, I didn't know you were British.
I didn't know she was either until I met her. And I didn't know Charlotte was her sister.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, until I saw them together. And I was like...
It's so weird to reflect on all of that. And because we were all so young.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
No, like, yeah. But like, actually, though, like, it sounds so weird, but like, conceptually, like, if you had told me 3 years ago that I, in 3 years, had to pay rent, had to pay my car insurance, had to do all the shit that I do now, I feel I would actually laugh in your face and be like, there's no way I'm going to be living at home with my mom.
Right.
But that's because, like, also working in this industry, like, you mature so quickly because of all of the people you have to interact with.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, how do I put this?
Well, you run a business.
Right. Like, you need to learn how to not only, like, please your audience, but it's like, the one thing I will say is every, like, encounter you have, whether it be, like, at an event or, like, a screening, like, any of those things can lead somewhere. And it's almost like you have to learn how to be mature enough to handle yourself in those situations.
Absolutely.
So that, God forbid, the person you're talking to is someone very important.
Yeah.
They can like be like, oh, I really like your personality. Let me help you out a bit.
It's a gross part of the industry though, and I guess that's how all jobs work.
Yeah.
Because like even if you don't have any internet presence, to get a job, you have to know someone. Gone are the days of walking into a place and being like, here's my application. Oh, you're hired.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit.
It's like, you need to know. I literally, even when I applied to Starbucks, I knew.
That's insane.
I was 16. My friend at the time, her sister was a manager at another store. And I think her sister knew me. She liked me.
She put in a good word for you.
She put in a good word for me.
Damn,
and
bitch.
that's how I got my job. I was 16, and mind you, at that time, Starbucks was like the only company that would hire 16-year-olds because they applied stuff to like minor laws.
Yeah.
So like I would have like my like breaks were different. My hours were different than everybody else's. And I remember when I first started, I rarely ever saw minors working at Starbucks. Like, it was very rare to be like, oh, you're 16? Yeah, take a job here.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there are people who can work full time, full hours. They know what they're doing. I'm like, what, a junior, a sophomore in high school?
A venti ice water, please.
Like, literally.
But that is, even that, you know, you have to know someone to even get a job in the service industry. Like, that's insane.
Wild.
And I think that that was something that a lot of us had to learn, is like, every interaction you have with any person matters, because people talk. And it's not like, you know, we're bad people or we're bitches or we're mean or anything like that. But if you're having a bad day, anything like that, I always used to hear celebrities bitch about this. And I'm like, shut the up, bitch. Like, what do you think? And I get it now.
Yeah, I get it now.
You sobbing, crying, like throwing
but
up at the
if
mall.
I had said no,
that would have,
yeah.
Why I hate Spencewuah, a Twitter thread.
And even, and no, like, I feel like even there are people in this industry that even they, like, not even just people that you, like, strangers you meet. Like, for example, like, if someone walks up to me on the sidewalk, like, I'm always going to be like, yeah, let's take a photo. Like, I don't mind. But, like, even, like, interactions you have with people in the industry, even a lot of them, people that, like, don't understand this. When you work in the entertainment, like, business, I want to say, it's like, I hate to describe it like this, but it's, like, almost a competition. And I don't mean it like, I don't view it as a competition, but a lot of people do. It's like they see you doing well and they want to be doing just as well as you are.
When there's room for everybody.
Exactly. There is literally room for everyone.
Yeah.
And they will go out of their way to, like, make stuff up about you, talk about you behind your back. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, it is. And that's a really sad part of it, because this job should be so fun. And it is.
It is.
Trust.
Yeah.
But it's also like,
there are a lot of things that, like, I feel like I wasn't anxious about before that.
No,
I am
and I
now.
never even thought I would have to think about. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're just making funny videos. And it's like, bitch, I'm managing a brand.
Yeah.
I am literally a brand manager.
Yeah.
Wild.
Do you want to play a story game?
I want to play a story game.
Okay, everyone. We've just derailed one last time. This is a little fun game. We've played it before. I'm sure you are all familiar with it. Me and Brittany have a bowl. The bowl has topics. We're going to reach inside, pick out a topic, and we have to say a story that correlates to the topic we pull out. You can pull, like, any topic you want.
This feels like a winner.
Okay.
Public pools. Holy shit. First of all, this isn't a personal story, but what comes to mind immediately is Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging. Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I do.
Where she's doing, like, tricks in the pool to impress him, and it's like her orange tan. That is like a visceral memory for me for some reason.
I forgot about that movie. You just, like,
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Hey,
add it to the list.
hey, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Like, I just unlocked something, didn't I?
No, you did.
Like,
I'm gonna go home and watch it.
For the next week. Wait, what was her name? Her name was the one who made the list.
Who?
The one who made a list of you.
Oh, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon's gonna have to add another name.
Yeah, Shannon, you're needed. You're calling into the office.
Here. Oh no, I'm gonna grab now, but I feel like you should hold the bowl.
Well, hold on. Do I have a story about public pools? Probably not.
I have one if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I do.
Like, actually.
Okay.
So I went to summer camp. Like, literally, like, my life is like, what the hell?
Bitch, your mom sent you away.
She worked, and, like, yeah. So I went to summer camp, like, a lot when I was little. Like, I went to summer camp.
Shows.
Yeah. It's like a Catholic school, theater kids, summer camp. Like, literally, like,
Your fate was predetermined.
it literally was. I was, like, brought into this world, and it was like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, baby burned it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was at this, like, we took, like, a field trip with my summer camp. We used to go to this lake. I don't want to say the lake because I don't want to get in trouble. But, like, for the first 2 years, all of us got, like, these really weird rashes from the lake.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Like, we all got these, like, really weird rashes. And all of our parents thought we had eczema. Like, my mom thought I had eczema. My friends' parents thought that they had eczema. But, like, our parents, I guess, like, never saw us all together. So they were never like, oh, like, why do all these kids have eczema? Like, individually, they were like, oh, my kid has eczema. Yeah. And I remember, like, we would, like, lather ourselves in ointment and then, like, run into the lake.
Yeah,
and then one year, like, they were like, you can't come to the lake anymore. Like, you can't come. Like, we couldn't go for a month, an entire month. There was a huge chemical imbalance, and we were all, like, getting getting actually like these chemical rashes like all over our bodies. And like I remember like I had to put ointment all over my body when I would go to bed at night and it would burn and I'd be like, but I want to swim in the lake. Anyways, so during that month we went on like a few field trips and one of the field trips was like to this like cool public pool. They had like a water slide. It was a lot of fun.
Like that's any better.
Yeah.
Just different chemicals.
Yeah. So I'm like swimming in the pool and I'm like having a grand old time. And I literally like when you're underwater, you don't really hear anything. I just hear splashing and I get up and everyone is literally running out of the pool. And I'm like, why is everyone running out of this pool? This makes no sense. And then I saw like one of the kids from my camp, because it was a public pool, he was like, it's over there, it's by Spencer. It was a turd. It was like a floating shit in the pool. And I was like, no, please. So like everyone had the honor of seeing me like literally like pushing the water away and like frantically like, yeah, whatever.
We got a floater.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick one. Sorry, no.
It's by Okay. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
God, public pools are so gross.
I know. Oh.
You know what? Actually, hold on before you start.
Yeah.
Another, not my own memory, but a memory.
Uh-huh.
You know the movie Grown Ups?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've like seen.
There's a
entirely.
scene where Kevin James is in the kiddie pool at this like public water park and he pees.
Oh.
And they have that chemical in it that turns it dark
Blue.
blue and it spreads all around him and kids run out screaming. That's
what it gave.
yes.
You know. The topic I chose was brunch.
Brunch.
I don't think I've ever like been on. Oh wait, I have. When I was in New York City, I went on like brunch. This is when I was 19, and I went to like this place called Hell's Kitchen, which is basically like the WeHo of New York City. And I went there for brunch. And
is it like a drag brunch?
No, it was just like I wanted to drink margaritas, and I remember I walked up to the bouncer to get in for like brunch. It was like me and like two other people. They were of age, and he was like, "Okay, show me your ID." And I was like, "Oh, like I'm not driving. I didn't bring my ID with me." And he was like, "So you mean to tell me that you look 19 and you just didn't bring your ID?"
Forgot to bring your ID.
You want to know what I said?
What?
I said, "You think I look 19?
Let's go.
Thank you." And he was like, "Okay, come in."
Okay, period.
That's how I got in, because he said I looked 19, and I was like, I took it as like a compliment. Bitch, I was 19. Like, and then I got
freshly 19.
and then I blacked out like at brunch. So it was like, come on now.
And then I had one sip of a margarita and blacked out.
No, like actually though, yeah.
Uber drivers.
We were just talking about
We
this.
were just talking about it, but I do have my stories aren't like, because like my stories with Uber drivers, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to remember.
Well, most are.
Most are. I've actually, there's like a really wholesome one. I'll tell a wholesome story.
Okay.
I was coming home from WeHo one night and I Ubered by myself because it was one of those, it's like, I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, or I had too many sugary drinks and I was just like, I'm going to go home.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting in the back and I see that the driver speaks English and Spanish. And I was like, period. And so I was drunk. And I was like, ¿Sabe español? And she was like, ¿Sí? And she turned back and looked at me because I'm just wider than the than the day is long. And we start talking in Spanish back and forth. And I'm asking her about her family. And she's like, I have family in Mexico. And I do this, so I can send money back. And it's whatever. And I was like, wow, that's so special. Like, how long have you lived in California? Whatever. We start talking. And she's like, how the f*** do you know Spanish? And this is all in Spanish. I'm drunk. So I know it's bad, but it's like broken Spanish.
Yeah.
And I get out to go home, and she was like, "This was one of the best drives I've ever had." She was like, "Thank you so much," and I tipped her like $30.
I
was like,
love when that happens.
It was so like I walked into my house smiling. I was like, "God, humans
like
are
such
so cute."
Yeah, like those like human interactions. I feel like with those like small little moments with like, especially with strangers.
And just trying to like, instead of like thanks, and getting out.
Yeah.
We connected for 15 minutes, and then I'll never see her again. It was
That's
just
sweet.
I was like, wow. I love when it's that. Also, as a woman, so I felt comfortable doing that. If it was a man, I would have been like, "Thank you, drop me off."
Me literally trying to hold my Uber driver's hand, like
you reaching for their lap. You could get in trouble with that.
I would never reach for their lap.
Slay. I'm thinking too. You have a whole car full of your friends that you could hold their hand. like could give you a hug if you wanted.
Like
it.
literally have them sitting in the back. Okay, mine is group workout class. Oh my gosh.
No way you have a story about it.
I do.
You're lying. You're
I'm
lying.
so serious. So I go to 24-hour fitness. And they have like these special like Zumba classes.
Okay.
And I did go to a Zumba class with Emmy.
Zumba's fucking hard.
Oh, it is crazy. And this man, this was like right before Halloween. So I was like, I have to look good. And this was also like when I didn't really know how to work out. And like, I'm like, when I go to the gym now, like I know what I'm doing pretty much. But like, when I was going, I was like, what the hell is this? This man started playing this upbeat tempo music. And everyone, I guess like it's one of those classes where like there's a beginner class and then like you advance to the next class because everyone knew the dance and me and Emmy didn't. And everyone was just like going along with the dance and me and Emmy like, have you ever, not Pitch Perfect, Mean Girls, when she's like, you're always on my left. And then she like messes up the dance and she looks like a fool on stage.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Okay.
But like 10 times worse.
But you're in a room full of 50-year-olds?
No, like I'm in a room full of 30-year-olds. Also, the one I go to, it's like Grindr Central. So it's like there are a whole bunch of gay men in there too, and I look so dumb. And I'm like trying to do it, and I was like, do I just do the Cotton Eye Joe at this point? Like I was really ready to just go like this and
you
just
do the leprechaun dance.
Literally me doing the Cupid Shuffle. I actually sprained my ankle doing the Cupid Shuffle. A bookshelf fell on me.
Why were you doing the Cupid Shuffle around a bookcase?
Okay, so like this was when I was back home in New Jersey. This was also
It's a story.
this was also in high school.
Okay, it was January 12th, 2010.
No, like actually though, we just got brand new carpets in our living room, and they literally said, if you're in the living room, make sure to be careful. The carpet's slippery because it's brand new. And I was like, I'm trying to lose weight. Why don't I do the Cupid Shuffle in my living room with socks on? And I put on grippy socks. So I was like, this has to work, right? Mm-hmm. No, I went to the right and then stumbled into a bookshelf. The bookshelf then fell on me and my ankle twisted. And at the time I was like heavier. And I went to the doctor. I actually had to go to the ER. And I go to the ER and he's like wrapping my ankle. He tells me that it's sprained because it's like swollen. And then I asked him, I was like, can I get wheeled out to the car? Do you know what this doctor said to me? Gotta love New Jersey. He goes, why don't you hop on one leg? He literally, I cannot make this up. Like he had to be violating some medical community law because he was like, why don't you hop on one leg? Yeah. You look like you might need it.
Why don't you just figure it out? That's wild.
Yeah. See, you got a bonus story, guys.
I sprained my ankle at what's that called? Honey Night in K-Town. I go with Christelle sometimes. Partying with Christelle is dangerous.
I've never been to Honey Night.
Honey Night is in Koreatown, and it's at this Korean barbecue place, and it's just slay. Like they just have a bunch of different specials, and then like they play K-pop, and it's just like so fun. And we go with Sarah Baska and Christelle and a bunch of friends, and then we usually like go out after. Mm-hmm. I literally was so drunk because we pound soju, like pound all of it. And we walk out and I just like blinked really hard, and then the world went dizzy, and then I sprained my ankle. Stepping off the curb because I was blackout at Honey Night.
Did you dance on the foot, or like did you have to go home?
I was so drunk I didn't even realize it. I heard a poop and I said, ooh, that kind of hurt. And then I continued on with my night, and I woke up the next morning and it was like a grapefruit swollen black.
Yeah. And then you were like dancing on it too, so it probably made it like 10
I was
times.
running on it, bitch. I was like, this is so dangerous. I blame Christelle.
I think we have time for one more story. Is that good?
Here we go.
You're the last story, Brittany.
Dentist office. Dentist office. I got my wisdom teeth taken out in 2019.
Me too.
Slay. Oh my God, you're psychic.
Right before my freshman year of college.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because then I was able to get my braces off.
Oh, and then you got hot, and then you glue up.
Glowed. More like got an eating disorder. And
I had my eating disorder in 2019 too. Yeah.
Like, okay.
What's yours?
Oh, my like the eating disorder I
Yeah.
had? Oh, I had like anorexia.
Oh, I had the opposite, girl. I was a binge eater.
Oh, I had anorexic binge eating disorder. So like I wouldn't That's a great combo, right?
Okay, win. That's a win.
Yeah. So like I would like starve myself for 2 days, and then I'd be like, okay, let's eat everything in sight.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, why am I gaining weight?
Yeah. Or why do I feel awful all of the time?
Yeah.
What was I about to dentist office. I got my wisdom teeth out. And I woke up out of it, the like anesthesia. And my mom was taking care of me, so they put me in the car, and I kept talking about, I want Popeyes. I wanted Popeyes so bad because I had been thinking about, okay, what can I eat afterward? Those Cajun taters from Popeyes with that great bitch. That's on my death row meal. That like the little styrofoam, flavored with styrofoam.
You getting aroused?
Ooh, shit. I had been thinking about it before, like I even went in for the surgery, and I come out. And I make her stop at Popeyes to pick me up a big gallon of it. She's inside and I'm recording myself. And I start, like, to this day, I don't think I've cried that hard ever in my life about Zayn leaving One Direction. Like, I could insert clip. Like, I could send it to you. I, like, full body sobbing, like, chest heaving of, like, why did he do that?
Oh, wait, did you post it on TikTok?
I think so, probably.
Yeah, because I think I saw it.
And then 20 minutes later, I was like, I feel like Post Malone. Because I had all the cotton in my mouth. And I was like, I don't know what it is about anesthesia that brings up your most, like, I just needed to talk about it. Like, I don't think I had fully processed that Zayn left One Direction 4 years prior. And it just, that's what came out. And I was like, I'm not like that on anesthesia. Actually, when I had my wisdom teeth removed, I didn't have any anesthesia. I was like awake the entire time. So does your mom like hate you?
So like it was just like what insurance could cover.
No, I paid for it completely. I like had to buy or start a credit card to put the anesthesia on there. It's so expensive. I love America.
And yeah, no, I was like, if it's free, I guess I'll just stay awake. They actually like cracked my tooth and I felt it.
Spencer!
Yeah, because like I didn't know this, but like you know how like there are people who are kind of like they need more Novocaine.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I need more Novocaine and more laughing gas, and they didn't give me enough. And I didn't know this until I felt them crack my tooth, and I started crying. And then he was like, "Did you feel that?" The doctor, and I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, bitch.
I said, "Yeah." Like I verbally was like, and mind you, like I have my mouth. I was like, "Yeah, I held it." And then he looked at the nurse, looked back at me, and said, "That boy should not be able to speak." And they had to up everything. And then when I got out, I told my mom what happened, and you know what my mom said? "Oh, I have that same problem too." So why didn't you tell me? Why like you just let me go in there like knowing that this could possibly happen? And she was like, "Well, now we know." Well, yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Now we know because I felt them crack a tooth.
That would have knocked me out.
I also did have Novocaine, so it was like I felt it, but I also like it probably didn't hurt as bad as it would have if it was like,
oh, bitch.
Yeah. Well,
what a great way to end.
Yeah. Everyone, as you may know, this episode is coming to a conclusion. But before we go, Brittany, would you like to tell anyone any upcoming projects you might have, or your socials, your handles? Let everyone know who you are. Everyone, if you don't know who Brittany is, like, please get a grip. Like, actually, like, get a grip. Like, please.
Grow up.
Like, actually, like, who, like, really?
I am Brittany Broski. You can find me, Brittany Broski, on YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Zillow. I have a show coming out soon on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Don't get excited. But it'll be fun. It's like medieval themed.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. It's my hot ones.
Okay.
I want to make a hot one so bad, and so it's in the works.
You know my handles. If you don't, I'm Spencewuah on everything except Snapchat. On Snapchat, it's Spencewuah with an M. As you all do know, this episode airs on Thursday, and every episode airs on Thursday. You can listen to this podcast on all audio streaming platforms, and if you want to watch this happening live and in person, and you want to see me do the Irish jig, I recommend you go to the Past Your Bedtime YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, you hate me. And I love you guys, so please don't hate me. Just subscribe. All right. I love you guys. See you next time. Mwah.